This is KGW News at noon.
We start at noon with an update on a shooting in southeast Portland. Portland police now say 3 people died in what they're calling a murder-suicide. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Christine Pitawanich. This shooting happened last night at a house on Southeast 166th and Main Street. A SWAT team and crisis negotiators raced to the scene around 6:45 last night after the 911 call came in. Police today gave us some new information. We now know 3 men were found dead at the home. A woman is also in the hospital right now. Last night, we spoke to a neighbor who wanted to stay anonymous. He spoke with police as the situation unfolded.
He said that there was a man that was barricaded in the house, that he had shot someone. So that's what the purpose of all of this was.
Police tell us there isn't anyone else involved in the shooting, but we don't know the connection between the shooter and the victims. And just moments ago, Portland police released these pictures of a man wanted for murder. 43-year-old Jose Caraballo is accused of killing his girlfriend. He has very distinctive tattoos. His girlfriend's body was found in Powell Butte Nature Park Friday afternoon. 27-year-old Catherine Mulbach's family shared this picture of her. Police think Caraballo has left the Portland area. He has friends and family in Oregon, California, and Mexico. If you know where he might be, call police. Crime Stoppers is also offering up a $2,500 reward. The City of Portland's 90-day reset plan for the Central East Side Business District is underway, with crews clearing out homeless camps and the city stepping up police patrols. Blair Best talked to people living on the streets there who say they aren't being offered any help once they're forced to leave.
Forever. It was like, I don't know, way too long.
That's how Kyle describes the past 2 years he's been living on Portland streets. Most recently, fighting to stay warm here on the corner of Southeast 6th Ave and Oak.
A little fire or like burn hand sanitizer, like alcohol or like propane.
The fire department has responded to his fires 4 times in the last week.
Yeah, they know me pretty well, I guess. I don't know.
This area also the latest target for city crews clearing homeless camps. It's all part of the mayor's Central East Side 90-day reset plan to clean up the neighborhood and increase police patrols after dozens of business owners called on the mayor for help about 2 weeks ago, citing safety concerns.
One of our employees on his way into our central kitchen was held up at gunpoint.
Like everyone in this room, we deal daily with feces, human, on our shoes. We deal with break-ins. We deal with assaults.
Mayor Wheeler promised them results.
Not just in terms of the data, but I want it to pass the C test. If you don't see it, it doesn't matter. And so my expectation is that you will.
Another one of his reset plans launched last March in Old Town, which saw temporary results and got 87 people into shelters. Across the river, Kyle's camp is now getting the brunt of this plan. He was swept twice this weekend and has until 8 a.m. Monday to move again.
It kind of sucks. It's like kind of depressing as hell. I don't know. When you got like nowhere to go.
The city clears the camps in an effort to remove all of the tents and trash covering the sidewalks. Yet for those living in those tents, that's their home. And for some homeless people out here in the Central East Side, they say the city isn't helping them get off the streets. When they sweep you, do they offer you any sort of services?
No. They give me $5. That's about it.
According to city data, last week they assessed 500 camps and removed 50 of them. They only offered shelter referrals to 42 people. 33 accepted and 28 actually spent the night in the shelter. So going off of this data, not everyone is being offered a safe place to go. What will it take for you to get off the streets? What is it that you need?
An ID and like somebody that cares, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that they look down upon people who are poor.
Alex and his friend Zach share this corner of Southeast Grand Ave and Oak. They've tasked themselves with watching out for the neighborhood, saying they've stopped people from breaking into nearby businesses.
I just try to make a bigger conscious effort to keep my area clean and my surrounding area and my street cleaner.
He sees the mayor's reset plan as a ticking time bomb, leaving him in fear of his site being removed, one he spent $500 making.
So after we get cleared, what are we supposed to do after that happens?
He's now just waiting for the day he can afford a place of his own.
I have a job. I work at Plaid Pantry. I work graveyard at Plaid Pantry 5 days a week. It's still not enough to pay for something. Like I said, I can either have clothes and food in my gut and live out here, or I can go live somewhere and have a roof over my head and have no clothes and no food in my gut. I can't afford to have both.
Another meeting on this 90-day reset plan is scheduled for Tuesday, and this one is not open to the public. In Central East Side, Blair Best, KGW News.
Now to an update for drivers who use Highway 30 in Columbia County. Starting today, the highway, which is about 20 miles east of Astoria, is open for daytime travel, that area. It's the first time this is happening in nearly 2 weeks. Crews have been working to clean up after a landslide. ODOT has had one lane open at night from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. for the past week, with flaggers waving drivers through. Now, those flaggers will be sticking around, but the highway will now be staying open all day. If you plan to travel that way, still expect delays because crews continue to be in that area. And Highway 35 near Government Camp now back open. It was shut down in both directions for a couple of hours yesterday afternoon around 12:30. ODOT says multiple cars spun out because of icy conditions. Here's a look at Highway 26, though, where cars were stuck in traffic. You can see the lineup there because of what happened on Highway 35. ODOT says no one was hurt, but crews did have to help get 3 cars back onto the highway. Let's get to Daisy Caballero in the Weather Center now. And Daisy, we've had a lot of rain recently, but things are looking like they're changing.
Yeah, Christine, you're totally right. Things are definitely changing, and that's because a new system is pushing through and that we're actually going to be under a dry spell for the rest of this week, potentially clear into this weekend. We'll talk more about it in my full forecast, but I wanted to take us out to Cannon Beach. We're 43 degrees out there. Those skies are starting to clear out, but more of those clouds are going to be coming right back after. But another look at those current temperatures, we're mainly in those mid to upper 40s for the most part. I actually did see a 50-degree mark right here in the Dalles. We are in the 30s though near John Day, Burns, and Bend. But we're seeing those 40s on the coast. Now, comparing these conditions to what we were 24 hours ago, we're actually a little bit warmer in Scappoose, Vancouver, Troutdale, Portland here as well, 9 degrees warmer right now than we were yesterday, specifically in the Dalles. This is your daily planner here. We're expecting, again, those clouds to stick around for the majority of the day, but are we expecting any more snow in those mountains and foothills? I'll let you know coming up in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Daisy. Oregon's election director has resigned, saying the job is extremely challenging and also cited uncertain funding. Deborah Scroggin gave her resignation letter to Secretary of State Shemia Fagan on Friday. Fagan told a House committee last week that her office tracked 220 incidents of false information this year, and many of those instances involved threats of violence. Fagan is asking lawmakers to fund 4 full-time staffers, including 2 to investigate elections complaints. Right now, there's only 1 full-time staffer. And today, Oregon Senator Ron Wyden gave a speech at the Oregon Leadership Summit. It's a forum with business community and elected leaders. One of the big topics discussed, growing the semiconductor industry in Oregon. Wyden wants to grow Oregon's so-called silicon forest. There's a global shortage of high-tech chips, and Wyden wants Oregon to be part of the solution. Before his speech today, we talked to him about how the $52 billion CHIPS Act will make a difference.
My legislation that I made a part of this package provides billions of dollars for investment tax credits. And this gives us a chance to really move into the big leagues in terms of manufacturing.
Wyden also told us that the Secretary of Commerce will be visiting Oregon early next year with an eye on growing the semiconductor business across the state. Still ahead at noon, returning home and now recovering. How Brittany Griner plans to help other Americans stuck in similar situations. And the Golden Globes are back a year after Scandal. The big award show returns. Find out which movie took home the most nominations. And we're in our last week of the KGW Great Toy Drive, and while the toy box is still looking good, we definitely need your help. You can do it by dropping off a new unwrapped toy at any IQ Credit Union, Fred Meyer, or local Toyota dealership. And if you'd like to drop off a toy in person, we have a collection event tonight. Our Joe Ranieri and the KGW team will be at Zoo Lights tonight on the news at 4 and 5. You can bring a toy, drop it off with the Intel folks at the Polar Plaza. And if you can, please give. We'd love it if you would. Help bring a little more joy to kids in our area this holiday season.